From the Deeps, Seven Wardens, Book 1, written by Laura Greenwood and Skye McKinnon, narrated by Angus Yellowlees. Chapter 1. Aunt Nessie would be furious if she could see her nephews fight like this, and so was Macey. Her brothers were idiots. Bruce had Jerry by the neck and was squeezing a lot tighter than he should have been. And what could she do about it? Not a damn thing. Not with the stupid bind that stopped her from using magic. It was the one condition that her father had given when she'd said she wanted to come on land. Well, that and the two buffoons she called brothers. Luckily, he'd bound them too, so at least they weren't about to start spurting water at each other, or shift. They wouldn't be able to stay in their kelpie forms for long without suffocating. She shivered, imagining the headlines that would come from the dead, oddly hued horses whose coats shimmered, not unlike when light hits the surface of the water. Oh wait, that's exactly what it was like. It was times like this Macey questioned her decision. But it was tradition for her people to come on land when they turned 18, and it had been 3 years since then. Problem was, she really had no idea what she was actually supposed to do here. Some of the old legends talked of epic quests and royalty and men in kilts. So far, she'd seen none of that. Well, she'd seen a man in a kilt, but he had to have been around 80, and she really didn't want to think about what was under it. Not at all. Damn, where was the whiskey when she needed it? Oh, right, it was behind her brothers. Not a reasonable solution, then. She cupped her face in her hands, not wanting to watch the fight any more. The only result would be a bruise or two from their stupid game. It likely wouldn't even resolve what they were fighting over. Knowing them, it'd be something like the last of the stew she'd made for dinner. Maybe she should eat it herself. It wouldn't go down well, but it might teach them a lesson. Macey pushed back from the table and left the room. She had far better things to do. Maybe she'd curl up with her e-reader, which, unlike the man in the kilt, was something she actually liked about life away from the water. The book she'd been reading the night before was giving her ideas. Probably ones that would cause her brothers to murder anyone that laid eyes on her, but she didn't mind. She really needed to get herself her own place. Living with her brothers was hard enough below the surface, but there she was able to stop their shenanigans with her magic. She was more powerful than the both of them combined, and luckily they knew that. Up here, their muscled bodies gave them the advantage. She was a measly 5'2" in her human form, and while she'd been called pretty, she wasn't so sure about that herself. Guys would say anything to get women into their beds, and so far she hadn't felt tempted by any of the local boys.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?